and you will never be accepted. So this is my message to the people from the global south. There is no winning with these people. You cannot win. Whether you assimilate, this is up to you. You can assimilate or not, but you are going to be blamed anyway and looked at as a, be considered as an outsider and a foreigner, no matter how many years you stay over there. I mean, do you realize that the Muslim community in Texas is 300,000 people? It's less than 1% of people living in Texas. Okay, there's another 29 million people living in Texas. You don't have to make false claim. Just say, I don't like brown people. I don't like black. I don't like Africans. I don't like Latinos. I don't like Muslims. Just say that. It's better for everyone.
The discussion I had, the larger discussion was about radical Islamic militancy in Europe. Right. And I made a terrible, inexcusable error in identifying Birmingham as a no-go.
But where did you get that information from? But where did you get that information from? Sorry to interrupt you.
So today we're going to do this second video about this no-go zone. I mean, it's just so fascinating. I mean, this guy, this Stephen Emerson, whatever his name is, he went on Fox News. This is like 10 years ago. Right, and he said something about this no-go zone in Birmingham, in the United Kingdom. He claimed that nobody can go there. It's under Islamic rule. The police cannot go there. The military cannot go there. There's like, they have this Taliban-like type of government. Everybody's afraid. White people are not accepted there. They're mass murdering the infidels. I mean, these people are so fucking lunatics. And so, no, I'm doing the video because you like, specifically Westerners, you have to familiarize yourself with your history. This person went on Fox News. He made the statement, then apologized. This is on the BBC. He went to the BBC. In the same statement he made that at the time, he said something about France. France itself sued Fox News, and then they got some compensation. I don't know how they litigate that case. But I'm telling you, it's a serious. You can't just jump online. You can't just go on national television and say some bullshit about no-go zone and blame immigrants and all that. I understand if you don't like the immigrant, just say it. It will be way better for everybody. It will be a better situation. At least we know where you stand. You don't have to make false claims. Just say, I don't like brown people. I don't like black. I don't like Africans. I don't like Latinos. I don't like Muslims. Just say that. It's better for everyone. I mean, we already know you have some psychotic hatred for everybody who's not like you. I mean, your history of the Jews alone, proves that. But so the guy, he's like apologized. The journalist asking, where did he get the information? You got your information from Twitter. This is when I was arguing with that guy on Twitter. I said the Christians have killed 300 million in their, about 300 million people are being killed by the Christian. Compared to Muslim. The Muslims, the estimates are about from 27 million to 30 million. That's the estimate, right? And he couldn't process the information. And guess what his response was? He shared with me a 15-second clip of some guy, like a pro-Palestine protester in the Netherlands. And he was fighting with some other Zionist type of protest. There was a fight. Everybody fights all the time. It was nothing serious. It wasn't a crime. It was kind of assault and all that. But it wasn't that bad. He was hitting him with a stick. And so I'm just sharing with you that because this is the level of indoctrination. Like, you're so stupid. I'm telling you, Christians have killed 300 million people, and you sharing with me a 15-second clip, and somehow that this proves what I'm saying. Like, this is way beyond cognitive dissonance or whatever. Like, this is some mental illness. I mean, listen.
It was on sloppy research that had not
sloppy
been fact-checked.
Research.
And
of course.
I can only tell you that it was a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake.
I had committed.
You're
my body
racist.
of work speaks for itself for the last 25 years. And I'm typically very meticulous. And this time I wasn't.
No, you're hateful.
It was a reckless mistake. Sure. And you could try to, squeeze more blood out of me, but unfortunately there isn't.
No, you're hateful, and you have some psychotic hatred for non-white people. That's what you have. They didn't do the research. Like, how do you even Like you can't even make a logical argument on how that's possible or how can it happen. With the video that I made about the Texas Muslim community, some people were saying they're gonna overthrow the U.S. Constitution. I mean, do you realize that the Muslim community in Texas is 300,000 people? Do you realize that it's less than 1% of people living in Texas? Okay, there's another 29 million people living in Texas. I mean, how do you even address something like that? Like it's so insane. This is insanity. So this is Lauren Southern. I already made a video about it, but because I don't listen to these people, these are your prophets. This is who you listen to. You get your information from people like that. So I didn't know too much about her because I don't listen to women in general, but like especially these Western women, it's like complete lunatics. And so she had a history of these anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, it's like this is her own things. I mean, I believe I watched. I've seen her channel. She had a whole documentary about this white replacement theory, whatever they call it. I just cannot relate. And so she made this video. She went to Sydney.
To an area called Lakemba in Sydney, Australia, and it's supposed to be a very high Muslim population area, kind of like Markslow or Molenbeek in Europe. I think that in Australia, the no-go zone areas wouldn't be as bad as Europe just because they've got less mass immigration, but I've heard some pretty bizarre stories about riots, about attacks, kind of grooming gangs in Lakemba as well. So I want to see what's actually going on there. Is this actually a no-go zone? Or is it integrating perfectly? The only way I get to know these things is if I go on the ground.
So integrating, when they mean integrating, I believe I said it in the previous video. This integrating is just basically you have to be white, you have to be Christian, and you have to basically follow their way of life. You think that other culture trying to impose that on you, but it's the opposite. Well, because this is Westerners are dishonest. They're never gonna say that, but anyway. It's like even if you follow their way of life, become like that and assimilate, etc., you'll still be looked at as a foreigner, as an outsider, and you will never be accepted. So this is my message to the people from the global south immigrating to the Western country, whether it's Europe or Sydney or North America. There is no winning with these people. You cannot win. Whether you assimilate, this is up to you. You can assimilate or not, but you are going to be blamed anyway. If you assimilate, you're going to be blamed and looked at as be considered as an outsider and a foreigner, no matter how many years you stay over there. And if you decide to keep your traditions, your culture, your religion, all that, you will also be blamed. Like this is what I said. There's no winning.
And check it out. So let's see what we find out in Lakemba. As soon as we arrived in Lakemba, things were tense. There were heads turning, people coming out of shops to look at us and find out what we were doing.
So one thing that you have to keep in mind when you're doing videos online and all that, you edit the video. Okay, this is not like raw footage, unedited and filtered. This is, of course, you're gonna pick whatever scene you want to show people. So this is quite important.
Started yelling in Arabic across the street at us. I hadn't even been in Lakemba 10 minutes before someone had tipped off the media, and they came running to combat me and tell me this was a perfectly safe area and I had nothing and no reason to be there. Almost immediately, the media story was proven to be wrong. As we went to go for a walk to the local mosque, a very high-ranked police officer came up to me and begged with me, do not go there.
So we didn't see anything. So all these crimes, all these stabbing, all these people screaming, we didn't see anything. So I would assume if you're gonna if you're gonna expose something, well, at least show it on the video. And I don't think it's just because YouTube is not gonna allow it. This is because there's nothing. Now, this interaction with the police is so hilarious. I mean, what's this?
Speaking.
Inspector Rick Agis from KMC Police.
Yep.
I've been informed that you're intending to attending the Lakemba Mosque. Is that correct?
I actually have no intentions of attending. I was just planning on walking through the streets and seeing how the culture was here.
Yes?
Yep.
Are you satisfied with that?
Yep.
So where do you intend on walking to now?
I was just going to walk out and check how the mosque was.
Check where the mosque was?
Yep. Would I not be allowed to attend if I wanted to?
I've got grave concerns that you may cause an imminent breach of the peace down there, so I'm asking you not to attend.
Why would I cause a breach of the peace?
Because it's highly religious down there.
So would it be me causing a breach of the peace, or would it be the people there?
Well, your presence may cause them to be offensive, to be objective to your attending there.
And so that would be them being offended by me.
Can you not interview me? The local community walk around here without any fear. I walk around here without any
Right, but
fear.
I'm a critic of Islam.
Yes.
So I can't be in this multiculture because my culture is allowed to have free speech and
Okay,
criticize
I
Islam.
understand you have your own beliefs and you're allowed to have your own beliefs. I have no issue with that. I'm asking you not to attend down there because I have a fear that you may cause an imminent breach of the peace. In doing so, you may commit an offence.
Am I allowed to walk through the area?
I'm asking you not to go down the Haldon Street.
You're asking me, but do I have the legal right to walk down this area?
At this point in time, no.
I know you're walking away, but I would like to do some interviews. Would I be allowed to do interviews?
No, you're not welcome in there.
No, I'm
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I am obligated to tell the truth, even if I don't agree with the person. Even if so, the thing it's like I don't agree with the this policeman. I mean, you can't refuse somebody to go in certain places and all that. But like this Lauren Southern, she was trying to go start a problem. Yeah, and so what he was doing, I understand his position. He was trying to like prevent chaos because that's what exactly was intended. See what they do? They will go to these places, cause the chaos, and then blame the people for the chaos, not them, not because this person is anti-Muslim. She's going to a mosque and she's gonna talk to Muslims, okay, highly religious people, right? Now, people who don't like they're Muslim who don't go to the mosque, and those are what you will call moderate, but I don't like to use that word. But they're just not practicing, maybe, whatever. Doesn't matter. People go into the mosque highly religious. They don't want to bother anybody. This person is gonna go talk to them. How do you think it's gonna turn out? She's not gonna say anything nice about them. I mean, she's going to start the problem. That was the intention. The intention is to start the problem, and then when something happened, they will. And you might say, well, why those people will act violent or whatever? I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I know it's gonna be people screaming and people, trying to throw her away. Well, she can go into a mosque dressing like that. So this falls under this idea of like free speech and all that. I'm allowed to criticize and all that. But they frame it like that just so they can confuse you because they have, I said it in previous video, they've perfected the process of indoctrination. So they how they twist the narrative and how they will change the definition of the word. So they will insult you and say, no, that's free speech. They will, for example, burn the Quran in public and say, well, this is freedom of speech and I'm allowed to criticize the religion, right? I'm allowed to offend 2 billion people around the world, right? And that's my right. You can say anything, right? That's how they frame it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it because I've been talking too much. I already recorded 5 videos, this day. Anyway, if you have anything to add, if it's in the comments, I will, don't insult. If you insult, if you say something stupid, I will just block you. This is a dictatorship. We don't allow, nonsense. If you have something, constructive criticism, you're welcome. You're going to say something stupid, I'll block you. Anyway, see you next time.